Yeah. So today I'm going to be playing a bit more Elite Dangerous. Going to see if I can't make a little bit of money and start working toward getting back that Cobra Mark III that I unfortunately lost after its or during its initial takeoff procedure yesterday. So we'll see how we get on with that and go from there. So it was kind of entertaining because yesterday, shortly after I finished playing for the evening, one of my friends kind of got in touch and said, "Oh, I've done the exact same thing as you, got the Cobra Mark III and crashed it." So it's good to know that I'm not the only one that can buy shiny new ships and then have them destroyed not long after purchase. Either way, once my spinny ship, there we are. So we're now back inside the hauler, and I'm going to quickly check up with the trading tool for what kind of stuff I'm wanting to buy. So we'll have a look at that just now. I'll tell it that I'm currently in whatever system I'm currently in. Fine, I've got it manually. I'm just Ovid. And the next system over was one called Opala, and I've completely forgotten now how many or how much cargo can my kind of ship take when I'm trying to jump. So again, I'm going to quickly go to my cargo my galaxy map, because again, if my ship's got too much cargo in it, it can't make some of the longer jumps. So I'm just going to go and quickly check how much cargo I can carry on this first jump between the system of Ovid that I'm in and Opala, which is the next one over. Because I remember, or I know that it's not a full load I can take, but I just can't remember exactly how much. So I'll go to my navigation system. There we go. We can see the link between Ovid and Opala. It's grey, so we'll stick that up to that. There we go. It looks as though, yeah, there we go. I can take up to 14 tons with me. But what I'm going to do is just to play it safe. I'm going to take it to 13 tons, and that way, that also lets me jump directly from Ovid to Opala, then Opala to Ibutis, which is where I'm going to be wanting to head to shortly anyway. So I'm going to say I've got 13 tons. And I'm going to just check how many credits I have. 3,000 credits. It's not really a huge amount to be working with, and I've got a fair bit to be going. Let's see. So there we are. We're in my trading tool here. Again, I've got my 13 cargo capacity. 3,220. Will do it. And if I search, tells me here that I can make 650 credits of profit if I carry 13 units of bio waste. Although what I think I might do instead is take a crop harvester, so I can afford one of those, and then top up the remaining space with the bio waste. Because again, I'm making 375 for one unit of crop harvester, and then 50 per unit of bio waste. And I think that seems like an interesting idea. So we'll give that a go. So we're going to have one crop harvester and up to 12 bio waste. So we'll go to Starport Services, and then from there I can start bringing up the commodities market and hunt for what I'm looking for. So crop harvester I think is machinery, there it is. And bio waste I think is down at the bottom, there we are. And we can buy up to 12 units of that. There we go. So I've got the 12 units there. And that means that I'm still carrying the 13 units of cargo that I was expecting to before. Except one of those units will be making me, I think it was like 300 or 400 profit, rather than just 50 that the other stuff was. So I'll lock destination to Opala, launch, Here we are. Just to wait until I'm released.
Ship released. Engines
Release the landing
engaged.
gear. Bring up some speed. And then well, you can just gradually bring yourself out of the station and start aligning to apparently it looks as though that ship just in front of me has got a similar idea. Okay, wonderful. I guess I'm going to be flying through the ring of this big station, which hopefully isn't going to hit me. Yeah, because the station here has got sort of a big ring with two kind of struts coming out to it, and I suddenly had a panic there thinking, oh god, am I going to get hit by one of those struts as I was trying to fly past. Luckily, I wasn't. Now you can see there that I have too much mass with me, so I guess I'm going to have to sell back one of those units of the bio waste. In fact, I'll maybe just try and sell back 2 and we'll see how we go from there. That will mean I'm taking a bit of a loss because I'm selling the stuff straight back to the station I bought it from, but I would say a little bit of a loss here is better than just jettisoning that cargo and losing all of that. So there we are. There's the station. Press my docking permission.
Request granted.
And then we can bring ourselves back into dock. And I somehow ended up putting myself in reverse there. So there we go, we'll come back into forward. And I'm going to estimate that I'm going to be wanting to be roughly this angle to match up with the docking point. If you fly in, I've been trying to always stick to the green side when I'm coming into dock, the logic being that usually green is go, red is stop, so therefore that's probably what that means on the side of the station as well. But then again, I've had other people suggesting that perhaps it's kind of like with an aircraft that it's always green on the left and red on the right and it's got absolutely nothing to do with which side you're supposed to go in and out from. But I don't know. That's my logic, and it seems to have prevented me from crashing into any other people as I'm coming into land. Oh, let's come into land. There we go.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So again, we'll come back in, and we'll see just how much I'm going to be losing by selling 2 of those units of bio waste back. Commodities market. Into the bio waste at the bottom. And sell the 2 back. There's only a floating credit loss, so that's nothing too major. Right, so again we'll exit. Exit again. And set my destination back to Apollo. Oh, okay, we're still set. I just assumed that we'd change the target to the station when I
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Landing gear away, and there's somebody in what looks like a Cobra. Yep. That was the kind of ship that I bought and crashed. What's that over there? Oh, there's a hauler. That's one of the ships I'm currently flying up at on the right. Okay. So, oops. Let's try and undock on the right side of the station again. Okay, so that. Opala is set as my destination. Coming around to it. So, I can't start charging my jump drive because I'm still muscle up. Whilst I'm there and I'm muscle up, I can't even show you the station because the roof of my ship's in the way. Very unfortunate. You can maybe see a little kind of glimpse at how they've got a sort of gardens and things through the side of the ship, through the side of the glass wall in the station there. Which kind of strikes me as very much like in Mass Effect with the sort of Presidium level or something. Anyway, here we go, we're off to Opala.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll get to Opala. I'll try and dock at the station that's in here, which is the Romanenko estate. There we go. And where are we? There we go. Okay, so just get my speed into the blue region at the bottom left, the bottom right there. So that seems to be the kind of sweet spot that it will hopefully all kind of accelerate and decelerate at the right kind of rates. Again, I guess we'll see how that goes. I thought something like pull myself open and something to drink. I've been thinking as well that when I get up to the Cobra Mark III again, I'm going to try and do some combat with it. Once I can afford to fit it out with maybe a sort of cannon and missile launcher and the two tier 4 turrets that I can put into it, and we'll see how that goes. See how quickly either I melt my target or my target melts me. You can see here I'm about just over 500 light seconds away and I'm travelling at 19 times the speed of light, which looks quite slow if you look just out the cockpit. Okay, let's see what we can. Gradually slowing now because we're getting close to a rather large point of mass. Usually it's a planet or a moon that will kind of have a big impact. I'm now wondering what's that going off there. So that's supposedly a planet off to the left there, but it looks more like a star. Perhaps really like a gas giant or something. Anyway. There's the Romanenko estate, and bring ourselves and hopefully straight towards it. And again, you can see that my speed at the bottom left is coming close to the blue, safe disengage range, a little bit faster than what my distance is dropping to the blue range. So I'll go a wee bit faster and see. Let me see if I can get there that wee bit quicker. I'm starting to get that slow down message. That's a lot. So, let's see. We're actually getting there. Now look, my speed is increasing just a wee bit on the there, so let's bring that back down so it's slowing as we get closer, because again I don't want to be going too fast or else I can't do the safe dropping from hyperspace. So there we go. Let's get back to the blue region there then. And again, as we get close to the Romanenko estate, because it's a large a large stellar or a large kind of chunk of mass and space that slows down the cruise mode. And the distance is gradually dropping, and there we are. Destination lock set, and we're dropping out. Actually, we'll maybe drop out. There we go. And we have the Romanenko estate. Again, I'm going to just quickly got to fill, so to speak, with the engines. And when I turn off the assist mode, you'll sometimes see that when I do, when I boost my speed, I also then turn off the assist mode, which you can see up by the info window at the top right. That means that when I fire the afterburner, the speed doesn't then start bleeding back down to the to my normal maximum speed. This means I can do things like I can look around, I can rotate the ship as it's still moving in the same direction and at the same speed, so I can kind of get an idea of what's going on around me. Or if I was in a particularly fast and manoeuvrable ship, I could start doing things like rotating around and firing off in a completely different direction, like what you would see the Viper pilots in Battlestar Galactica do. Although because I've never flown any of the extremely manoeuvrable ships yet, I've not quite been brave enough to try that, because I think that a huge big ship like this with a large mass and relatively low engine power, I can't imagine that really handling these kind of extreme turns and spins overly well. Alright, we're coming into the station, dropping my landing gear, and we're looking for the party that is landing pad 36. So we'll just gradually lose some height and start reducing the speed. Again, I'll just try and I must have hovered over somebody else's pad there and got that lightering warning. Which reminds me, I need to stop in at one other station whilst I'm playing this morning to pay off a fine that I got for accidentally entering the station without getting the docking permission. So I think that's where I'll be roughly set my destination for once I get back to on my way back into the stars that I'm usually flying between. Right, so let's top up the fuel and then back out to the commodities market. Sell a crop harvester for a profit of 375, and then sell that bio waste there. There we go, a profit of 500. Okay, so now that we're here, I've made about 800 or so credits in profit. So I'll switch back to my my trading tool. I'll say that I'm now at 4,000 odds. I can carry a full load of 16. Oh wait, no, can I? Yeah, okay, we'll go for the full load of 16. And instead of going straight to Ibutis, there was a system called, I forget what it was called again. Back out and we'll find it. And although this will mean I'm going to be taking an extra jump to get back to the main systems, it's another stop where I can be making some money. There we go. So I'll be going to be up to 6. As you can see there, I can carry a full load of cargo and a full load of cargo down to Ibutis. So I'm going to do that and just make some more money. Right. And yes, go to Starport Services. Back into commodities. Okay, so okay,
upload completed.
It looks as though there's no data for that system there. So instead, we'll stick with F13 and we'll take it straight back to the Brutus after all. Okay. And again, I've noticed that the trading tail had a patch this morning, and the guy who made it, Sloppy here, he's changed a little bit. You can see here that there's now colouring on when things were last updated, so you can see that Opala here was last updated at 9:46, which was when I landed there, and then where I'm going to, it's at Brutus, was last updated at 9:47. So somebody else must have uploaded their data shortly after I landed here. It's given us information about distances, distance in light years, the amount of credits per light years. I'm assuming that's the profit, profit credits per light year, and then it's even telling me the route that I'll be taking here, which is quite nice. So I hadn't seen it doing that before. Right, so let's see. Okay, it looks like I'm going to be taking 13 crates of grain. So let's go and get that bought up. So we'll find foods, there's grain, go for 13, and there we are. Now we can exit that, go to navigation to Brutus. Oh, hello, you can see there that I've now been told to get insufficient fuel, but I thought I had fuel. Okay, so it looks as though perhaps I have to take less than 13 crates of grain again then. So let's drop it down to just simply 11, just to be absolutely sure. So let's find the grain again. So again, I'll lose 26 credits, but again, that's fair enough. That's not exactly a huge problem. And let's check, do I now have sufficient fuel? I believe I do have, because it's no longer saying insufficient fuel. Okay, so we'll get ourselves launched.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Landing gear away. Let's bring ourselves up to undock. Again, I'm just careful with my speed now, because I'm a little bit overly cautious with docking and undocking, because that's always, or that's where I've lost most of my ships now, is when I've been a bit careless when docking and undocking. There we are. Now we'll just fire up the engines and we'll let ourselves drift up to being no longer mast locked. And let's see. Oh, there we go, mast lock is gone.
Drive charging.
Okay, there we are. So in a moment we'll be in warp and on our way to the next station, back to Tango Dock. There we go, dodge the sun, and we'll have a look. Where is Tango Dock? Let's see if it goes with sun. There it goes down and to the right. Okay. So we'll just line up with the Django dock there, and again also we look around the cockpit, let you see what things look like in here. There's something a bit strange going on there, effects around the chair at the edge. Again you can see, or it feels as though there's a bit more space in this cockpit than there was in the previous ship. I did notice there's no longer the first aid kit down by my right leg or the fire extinguisher over by my left, but neither are there what look like exhaust cables or exhaust vents and things like that nearby, or even exposed cabling just running down the left hand side of the ship. So yeah, I think in the end this looks like a nice shiny new car. Let's get sort of new card feel to it. Then let's focus more on safely getting to Chango Dock and not crashing into planets. So again, the speed's gradually bringing itself down as we get close to a large body of mass.
Excuse me, Commander. Have you seen Chopper anywhere?
Oh, out of a light second away. Oh, there we go. Some interaction has been detected. So again, what I'll be doing in here is same as what I usually do. I'll just be firing my engine up full black and waiting until my frame shift is back online. So let's see what happens there. Well, interestingly, there's no other ships on scan there.
Drive charging.
There we go. Quickly charging up to get into the cruise mode.
3, 2, 1.
And it's almost confused though, it's approaching very quickly, but I'm sure we're fine. Oh, I'm actually getting a bit nervous, so I'm going to slow this one. There we go, safe disengage. And we'll see if we can drop without issue. And I've just realised that I've done all that flying there with the trading tail still on your screen there. Oops. There we go, we'll bring ourselves into the Chango Dock. The car's driving past the outside my window there with the horns blowing and passing by cyclists. Okay, so again I'm just going to quickly bring myself in. So Chango Dock is still 10 kilometres away, but again we'll get the docking permission from them shortly. I think you've got to be within 7,500 metres of them to be in range of getting docking permission. So there we go.
Request granted.
Let's try and I'll just cut out that extra forward thrust there. Hopefully timed it well enough that I can just smoothly bring myself in. Let's see if still feel a bit fast. Okay, so landing gear down, and we're looking for it is there. Docking bay 14. Again, I don't want to be hovering over somebody else's landing pad, so what I'll do is I'll bring myself forward and get it over to the side of the thing, the side of the pad, and just kind of strafe along into alignment with it. There we go. And we can just put ourselves in.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So, now refuel.
Avoid unnecessary destruction.
Get the fuel.
Top block access corridor.
Go to the commodities market and we can then sell off
Upload in progress.
the 11 units of grain that we've got. So, okay, so now that we're in Ibutis, I'm going to head towards another system.
Blocking bay
what
access
I'll do,
is a crime.
we're in Ibutis and we're going to head towards Erinen, and I've forgotten how much money to have now, just so that I can get an accurate measure of what I want. So 5,085. Okay. And again, I can now move up to my full 16 cargo capacity, and it's saying there that I want to try and carry okay, so 13 units of fish, and then I'll maybe see if I can then start no. I think what I'll do is, because the
For your
crop harvesters give me the greatest amount of profit per unit,
are active and tracking at this station.
I'll get the I'll just go with the 13 foods and another 3 clothing, because I figure I'll end up spending so much on the crop harvesters, I think, that I won't have enough, I'll not have enough money to top up on the remaining other stuff that's there. So I'm going to go for 13 units of fish, and that'll probably be all I can afford actually, now that I'm looking at the total price compared to how much money I've got. That's fine, because that'll still make me a 3,000 credit profit, which is
Blocking bay access is a
quite
crime.
nice.
Don't risk
So let's switch ourselves back to elite, and here we are. So we're looking for the fish, and foods, fish.
Can I get another pilot, do you think?
15 units of fish.
Market upload in progress.
Again, you can see there that I've now got 28 credits. So hopefully I don't do anything exceptionally stupid and end up losing my ship. Because that would be quite unpleasant to be then putting me back to exactly where I was at this time yesterday. But never mind, I'm trying to be careful, so hopefully that shouldn't happen. Now, we're looking for Erinen, and I think it was, let me just double check which system is it I need to go to and pay that fine.
Welcome to
Yeah,
our station.
Marcellus Primus, so that's where I'll be. So once I get to Erinen, I'll dock, pick up some stuff, and then head into Marcellus Primus and pay off that 300 credit
Ship
fine
released. Engines
for,
engaged.
accidentally entering the docking bay without permission.
Upload.
Okay, so let's see what we've got. Get ourselves out.
Unnecessary delay.
Just the speed. And let's see, where are we going? We're up to the left. And if I lose my mass lock, I can start charging the drag early. No. Oh, here's somebody's engine trail. Hopefully I didn't cut them off and cause them
Detecting
to
hostile
panic.
scan.
And instead it's someone just trying to scan me. How wonderful. So again, let's move as quickly as we can.
Drive charging.
There we go. So we're charging up, and hopefully we'll escape before anyone starts trying to cause me any harm.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there we are. You can see there as well that I've now got quite a lot of heat built up. I'm now up at 82%, which is quite a bit. That'll quickly drop off. There we are. Now that I'm here. I'll probably go this way. I was kind of looking out there for somebody else's blue kind of spot in the sky. So that shows it's another ship that's in cruise mode, going through space there. That's me. I've got the destination on Azvan City. just start heading towards it. Now, as we're heading towards this kind of blue spot, you maybe start noticing some distortion around. It's there, but I'm not seeing too much of it. Fair enough. But there you go. You can see a little bit around the kind of blue ring there. Oh, am I still going fast? Yes, I'm going far too fast. You'll see I'm about to scoot straight past it, and I'll have to bring myself back around. So, bring myself back around. I'm only a quarter of a light second of an overshoot, so that's not too bad. There we are. That's Man City. And there we go, we can safely disengage. Okay. So again, we're just waiting for it to finish disengaging. Again, the screen will start going white as I get close to dropping. Or maybe I'll just be left to sit here for ages. Oh, there we are. Okay, so it looks like I want to get at the bottom of the station here. I think I can see the lights of the advertisement or the big billboards on the way in. So head towards that. Again, throw on the afterburners. Well, I'm actually going to aim a little bit further away. Oops. Let's try that again, shall we? I say I'm aiming further away so that I get more time to react and kind of bring the ship around. Okay, again, so we'll bring ourselves in. Whoops. Looks like something happened and somebody exploded there. Oh no. Poor guy. Okay, so I think that's probably close enough. I can drop out of the afterburner and bring the speed down to a more safe number.
Request granted.
It's nice of them, they've given me permission to dock. And gradually bring yourself in and see what's going on. So it looks as though there was a couple of Cobra Mark III's there. A hauler and a Type 6 transporter. I think the Type 6 transporter is a big, heavy trading ship. So again, that will be the one I'm probably aiming for after I've upgraded from the Cobra if I'm still interested in doing the trading thing. I think that's it just there. Yeah, that's a Type 6 transporter. It just looks like a big, I don't know, a big box really. Again, it's got lots and lots of space for transporting stuff. Can't remember off the top of my head exactly what the cargo capacity of it is, but it's quite a bit. Oh god, that's too fast. Okay, so minor moment of panic there, and I'm looking for landing bay 16. So let's gradually slowly bring ourselves across to that. And it sounds as though, yep, I was going to say it sounds as though we can hear gunfire there, but I think the explosion kind of confirmed that there. Okay, so here we are, coming into landing bay again. Too fast.
Docking
Oh well, there we go.
successful. Engines disengaged.
So we're docked. We'll go through the usual procedure of refueling and then selling off the goods and figuring out what's happening next. I'm now down to 13 credits. I'm now feeling sufficiently full. That's fine, because once we get into here, I can sell my 15 units of fish. Was that all? Yeah, that was all. But you see now I'm up to 8,398. So let's plug that into my thing here. So that's not bad actually. That was what 8,398. So it's not exactly the same as what the profit I was expecting to get, but that's fine. So again, I'm currently in Erenin, and I'm going to fly to the Acilis Primus place. And let's see, it looks as though I'm going to want to carry a large amount of coffee, which will make me about 2,300 profit. And after, so I'll fill up on the coffee, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave myself about 1,600 credits left, just in case. I don't know, I'm just feeling somewhat paranoid now for some reason. So I'm only going to buy 16 units of coffee, and that way that should leave me enough money to cover the insurance cost of replacing my ship should something bad happen. So let's go ahead and switch back, and we can do that. So 6 units of coffee. How is that for? 6. And that leaves me with 1,900, which I'm fairly sure is enough to cover the insurance cost. So right, there we go. We'll just exit, and then we can now launch. Oops, I forgot to say where I was going.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Again, I'm going to carefully bring myself up because I know that I'm very close to the entrance bay, and I'm not sure what kind of other ships are kind of moving in and around the area. So let's put on and keep the speed nice and low. Again, I'm going to be popping up just across the edge here. Again, you see there's somebody, and I think that's Cobra Mark III probably. Yep. And I guess the last thing I want to do really is, that's a human, which I believe it is because it's got that less than greater than tags around it. Last thing I really wanted to do was to give him a mega heart attack and end up crashing his ship. So luckily he made it in, I've made it out, and all without incident. So there we go, we've lined up the Acilis Primus. Fire up the afterburner just to get me clear of the mast lock quickly. And there we go, apparently my mast lock is lost.
Drive charging.
I think I'm going to need to ask one of the spaceship mechanics to have a look at my, get one of the spaceship guys to have a look at my ship, because whenever my mast lock light turns off there on the bottom right, but when I try and jump it then it comes up saying, oh, your mast locked still. So yes, need to speak to the space mechanics. Okay, so then more, we'll be there shortly. There we are, and whilst we're dodging the sun, there we go, people 2 landing is behind me. And I'll drop my speed back to being into the blue, so I think it's fast enough that I don't really need to worry too much about going that 0.5 times the speed of light faster. Okay, so again, picking up the speed as we leave the sun behind, and again we're about, I think it's about 20 light minutes or so away from the sun.
Commander, I'm afraid you have the life expectancy of George Blue.
I I don't know if sometimes you're hearing that automated voice in the background. That's that trade tool speaking to me. I guess I'd turned off the speech and the insults, and when I had the previous version installed, it looks as though it's defaulted to being back on again. I mean, some of the lines actually are quite good. If there was, there's the "That's no moon," or a few other kind of Star Wars and other general insults. Again, at one point he was saying that, was it Commander, I might be better off with another pilot, or perhaps we'll survive this run, which again can be quite entertaining shortly after you've just crashed into a station. Getting close again to Beagle 2, and we'll see what's going on there. Oops, no. Okay, so there we are, we're coming in, and I guess we'll be there shortly. I'm feeling nervous with the speed there, so I'm just going to break it off a little bit. Again, I just get overly paranoid sometimes. There we are, the speed's nicely breaking off. Only for less than 10,000 kilometers away. 4, 3, 2, and short will be safely disengaging. There we are. Okay, so shortly we'll be arriving at Beagle 2 landing, and we'll see what happens from there. There we go. There we go. I wasn't quite sure exactly which end I wanted to aim towards for the entrance, but you can see the little hologram at the bottom left there. It's kind of telling me that it's that top right end area that I'm looking for that has the entrance at it. So again, I'm just going to rotate myself around so that I can, easily put the view around and be aiming straight to it. So again, we'll accelerate in nice and quick, and we'll see what we get. And there we are, we're 7 kilometers away. We'll request the docking permission.
Request granted.
Okay, so to proceed to the landing pad 4. Just get out I think you can turn off now. Just have to back down to that more manageable docking speed. Again, I'm going to just gradually, there's somebody else flying with it. I'll just bring myself in and try and see if I can estimate roughly what the angle would be. So I think I'm coming in quite fast, so let's tweak that slightly. There we go. We've definitely got the approach fine, and it looks as though that angle's match up mostly. I've got landing gear, and there we have it, 154, right up there at the end. And again, I'm just going to fly underneath somebody would see. Now it's interesting because I see quite a few people kind of just hovering about inside the station, but if you do that too much, you start getting the big fines. Like I say, I got a 300 credit fine just for entering without permission. I don't know what it's like if you let your landing, your landing permission expire and you're still floating about, or if you stay after the 5 minutes you're given to undock. I don't know how quickly the penalties accrue and how long it takes them to start firing on you, but I've definitely seen that happen to folk before. Right. And there we go. Now a safe landing.
Engines disengaged.
So I will let myself refuel. I'll pay off my fine. There we go. So I'll go to my contacts area. I think it's the local security office, and there we have it. Pay off my 300 credit fine. So again, you can now see I've got no outstanding fines, and I can go, I can happily go about my business. So back into the commodities market, and I can sell off those 6 units of coffee. And again, you can see there I've made a 1,950 credit profit. And even after taking into account that 300 credit fine, that's still a fairly good profit, I would say. So I've now got 10,039 credits. I think what I'm going to do is I'll see how much money I can get flying back to Erinin, and then I'm going to call it for now. It was 10,039 credits. I'm going to take 16 cargo capacity. And okay, I'm not really making that much money there, am I? Oh well. What I think I could do is buy the two personal weapons here again, because that's making me 611 profit each, and again, that almost matches the profit for selling animal monitors, and I'll then just stock up on animal monitors. That'll do it. So it was, I've lost myself again. So we're looking at having 2 personal weapons and up to 14 animal monitors. Okay. I guess weapons will be a personal weapons. 2 of them. And then it was animal monitors, there we are. And we'll just take as many of them as I can afford. Up. I'm trying to decide while I do that and leave myself with no way to replace the ship at all, isn't it? Let's do it. Because then that would give me another 1,500 profit. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just take the risk and be impatient. So we'll exit from there. And we'll come back to Erinin. Launch. And again, I'm just going to take it nice and slow, nice and easy. And go. There we go.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Okay, so there we are. Again, one of the things I like about being at the far end of the station is that you can easily get yourself into a good position just after taking off. I don't know what's going on out here. See, there's the ship ready to haul up. Somebody just flying right by me. Oh, that's not a good thing. You're coming in at the wrong side, so I'll come out at the wrong side. Right, okay, so let's get yourself up to speed. Fire off the thrusters and just wait. Again, just keep an eye on this mass locked indicator here at the bottom right. And there we go, it says we're clear.
Drive charging.
And apparently we are. Okay. So, we'll get charged, we'll get out, and we'll see what happens after that.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we're here. Probably gonna look at being. I was completely guessing. It's just. Oh, it's going completely wrong direction, of course it was. That's what happens when you try to be clever and assume that the other person you see in your radar is going the same place you are. Right, so again, we've got our speed in the blue. Turn on my head look around mode, and we'll just see what we see. This kind of panel that I've got there down between my legs, I'm not sure quite what that is. Oh, okay. I'm clearly going far too fast. I'm trying to decide if it's me that can't multitask, or if you just really need to focus a lot more on when you're flying places. There we go. So flew right past that. Yeah, we're gradually getting closer. And again, looking at my speed here when I'm in the super cruise mode, it's normally some sort of automatic system that's reducing my speed there. As you can see, the little kind of blue pin is dropping and dropping and dropping. That's happening, automatically. And I don't think it's some sort of autopilot system. I think it's an effect of being within a certain range of large body of mass. So again, sometimes you can accelerate way up, and the little pin will go right up. Although other times when you're close to a planet, when you try and force it up, it will only go a little bit higher than where it currently is. I think what I'll need to really do is read the manual and figure out what what all those different little bits there mean. There we go. Because part of me is wondering, is the... Of course I'm right at the back of the station. Part of me wonders, is the thing on the right showing where my maximum thrust can be? I think the bit in the middle is clearly what my current level of thrust is, and then on the left hand side the blue is that. I'm not sure if that's a suggested speed or what that's meant to be. Again, what I'll try and do is I'll try and figure that out. I'll do some reading and kind of do a wee bit of looking at what that could actually mean. But there we are, we're coming through coming towards the station here. Again, you can see there that this is the bottom of the station, or the back of the station, because that's clearly the axis it's spinning on, and it's just a big, big square. So again, we'll gradually get closer. And again, I've noticed as well that the different stations all have, even the ones that all look like these kind of cube things, they all have little, they've all got their own little differences. Like some of the stations have the little advertising billboards in a different pattern outside them. Sometimes they're in sort of lines coming out from the station. Other times they're like in a circle. around the entrance area, and then as well the stations themselves are lit up with different patterns as well. Right, let's get. So I'm just going to cut my engine power. Request the docking permission.
Request granted.
Again, what I'll try and do is I'll try and aim it coming in behind that Cobra. Is that Sidewinder? That's a Cobra. And I think the Cobra just seems like a bigger version, or sort of longer and wider version of the Sidewinder. Let's see who you are. What's the name of your pilot? Okay, so we've got a pilot called Travis. Let's unlock him just in case he starts getting nervous about being locked by some crazy other pilot. Okay, you can see here that I'm received to docking bay 42, and we'll see who that is shortly. Whoops, that was close. I tried to take my hand off the mouse and accidentally nudged it in the process, and I think my face must have been a picture. Okay, so we'll just bring ourselves into land here again, and lose the height. There we are.
Successful. Engines disengaged.
Okay, so we've docked. I'll do my usual resupply, sell off the cargo, and then I think I'm gonna call it an end here for just now, because I'm getting to the point where I want to get up and move about a little bit. So we'll sell all this stuff off, and then we'll figure out what's going on next. Right, so there we go. Sell off the 13 units of animal monitors, and the 2 units of what were they again? Our personal weapons. And there we are. We're up at 12,849, which is certainly a bit of a profit. Let's see. So what does that all work out at in the end? It's about a 2,000 credit profit in total there, which is quite nice. So again, what were they again? Sorry, 12,849 there. So that's not bad. So over the course of that session there, I started at about 3 and a bit thousand, and I've managed to get myself up to the 12,000 credits there, and even managed to pay off that 300 credit fine. So again, it's kind of amazing to see how quickly you can start kind of generating your money once you get out of that little starter ship and start carrying around, bigger cargo holds full of more expensive goods. Anyway, that's me going to head off for now. I'm going to just head off and do something else for a wee bit. So I guess I shall likely play again later though.